أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه يستعين في جميع الأمور الحمد لله أعد للعادلين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ودعاتهم المتقين سلالم النجاة للمرتقين بعد الله حاكمين مؤمنين مخلصين Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May you be among the people who listen to truthful discourse and use their intellect to understand its deep wisdom. May you be among the people who recognize that Allah Ta'ala is most just, A'dalul Adilin, and accept whatever circumstances occur in accordance with divine ordinance and destiny, recognizing that it is the Almighty's decree and accepting its implementation at the hands of Allah's Awliyaa. May you be separate from those who don't have faith in Allah Ta'ala's justice, who don't recognize Allah's Awliyaa. The Qur'an Majid says, فَرِيقٌ فِي الْجَنَّةِ وَفَرِيقٌ فِي السَّعِيرِ. One group will reside in paradise. May you be among those people. And the Qur'an also says, فَرِيقٌ فِي السَّعِيرِ. One group will burn in hellfire. May Allah protect you from that group and from their doubts. Most people who believe in God also believe that God is most just, most fair. That has to be accompanying that belief in God. God is just in every matter. Yet, we see so many inequalities in this world, which we call God's creation. One person is wealthy while the other one is poor. One has eyesight and the other one is blind. Where is the wisdom? Where is the justice in all this? When in the Qur'an Allah Ta'ala says, مَا تَرَى فِي خَلْقِ الرَّحْمَانِ مِن تَفَاوِتٍ. You will not find any inequalities in Allah's creation. Now what does that mean? What does this ayat mean? And humans want, most humans want everything to be fair and just. They keep accounts. There is always give and take. Even children, when they see things that they find unfair, they will say not fair. It is human nature that in this world, a world in which there are so many inequalities, humans mostly will still prefer justice. There are court systems existing in almost all countries, mostly, so that matters remain orderly. Widespread safety prevails and people can defend their rights. If humans have only been created to live in this world, then why do they want justice for others? If it is only for fun? No. What is the reason for this? What is the philosophy behind it? Behind justice? I will do this bayan with Allah Ta'ala's aid and His Wali Imam Zaman's ta'eed. Allah Subhanahu says in the Qur'an, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ. Truly, Allah Ta'ala commands you to be just. Another ayat says, O believers, why do you say what you do not do? To command something you yourself don't do is a sin. That is what the ayat says in the Quran. So how can Allah command justice and not act justly? This could never happen. Allah is most just, Adalul Adilin, as I mentioned. And I also said earlier that everyone in this world is not the same. How is this fair and just? When Allah has said in the Quran that there are no inequalities in Allah's creation. Our Mawali Tahirin, their teachings clarify fully that Allah Ta'ala is most just. You have heard in previous Majalis that this world that we live in is the second creation. in the first creation, Alamul Ibda, the Almighty created all beings equal, fully equal, without even a mote's worth of difference, no speck of a difference. This is Allah's justice. And all those who were created beings were given freedom to choose, all of them. Those who declared Allah's oneness by their own choice, answered the call of Dawat, they achieved everlasting bliss. As the Qur'an says, وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ أُولَٰئِكَ الْمُقَرَّبُونَ فِي جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ. Those who are first are first. They are closest to God in paradise. And those who did not answer the call of Dawat fell to this world because of their sin. And those who came into this world brought their destinies with them in accordance with their intentions at the time of the fall. The Creator gave them their place in this world. God has created all in accordance with His justice. Therefore, the foundation of all things is upon justice. Why? Because as our Imam has said, Al-falsafatu hiya tashabbuhu bil ilahiyya. True philosophy is imitation of godliness. Because that is the best. That is the best way. And the Creator created all equal. That is why the Creator included justice in every matter, after, in every action. This is godliness. Now, the circumstances that occur in this world in accordance with divine ordinance, such as accidents happen, storms happen. It seems as though many good people face destruction, ruin, death. We see it all around us, every day in the news, many, many times. But as the Qur'an says, whatever affliction befalls you, وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ. Whatever affliction befalls you is the result of actions that your hands have committed. And in fact, God pardons a great deal more. وَيَعْفُو عَنْ كَثِيرٍ. Believers should never say, why did God do this? If they do say that, they're questioning God's justice. As though God should not have done so, or this should not have happened. Many people find this difficult to accept, and some even stop believing in God. Each and every one of God's command is based on justice. And as I mentioned, the entirety of creation is built upon justice. That is why humans whom God has created and to whom He has given intelligence, it is in their nature to desire justice and fairness. Especially those who associate themselves with God, believe in God. And true goodness is found in the celestial realm. These people are inclined towards justice because they know they were created equally, originally. And for those who act unjustly, they are the most low and despicable among those who fell to this world. They act unjustly and harm others, as we see. When Allah's justice is present in all matters, it necessitates, as Syedna Taher Ridwanullahi alayhi stated in a verse of poetry. I will only translate here. If you say that the messengers of God, if you say that the messengers are Allah's proofs, and you then claim that there are no messengers after those first ones, you are making a contradictory statement. That's hypocrisy. He also stated that Allah sent Rasulullah as rahmat for this world. How would it be fair if the doors of Allah's rahmat were shut after Rasulullah passed? If a messenger from Allah were present in one age and not in another, how is that justice? If rahmat is present in one age and not in another, Rasulullah's successor, Imam after Imam, Imam al-Haq, Allah's wali, is present in every age as the embodiment of Allah's rahmat for this world. As the Qur'an says, إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُنذِرٌ وَلِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ هَادٍ. To Rasulullah, you are the one who warns, and there is a guide for people of every age. The Imamat's continuous chain existed even before Rasulullah. Those who recognize the continuous chain of Imamat, and in the time of concealment the chain of their da'is, these are the people who hold the true belief, because they believe that God's justice is always present. In every age, there is an Imam who establishes the true Dawat with Allah Ta'ala's permission. And in the time of Imam's concealment, the Da'i establishes the true Dawat with Imam's permission. Every action of these true guides, Imams, Dawat, is based on justice. Just like the Creator's action we attribute all actions of the Creator on justice, based on justice. And Allah's Awliyaa, actions based on justice, because their actions are by Allah's command, His permission, His inspiration. A man once accused Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, "Oh Rasulullah, you have not acted justly." He said it on Rasulullah's face. Rasulullah immediately rebuked him and said, "Is ana lam adil faman ya'dil?" If I don't give justice, who will? Syedna Taher Fakhruddin in praise of Imam in one of his poems says, Al-Imamul Adlul Waliyyu Ma'addu. The Imam is justice personified. Justice is through his person. His every action is just and fair. In the ayat of Qur'an where it says, Yahkumu bihi zu adlin. That is the qiraat of Ahlul Bayt. The individual who is just gives the command. This is the station of the Imam. The other people read this ayat differently, saying Zawa Addin in dual form, meaning two individuals. The correct way is the reading of Ahlul Bayt. And during the time of Imam's concealment, the Da'i's action is fair and just. That is the true belief. Just as people, now this is where the problem happens for a lot of people. Just as they stop believing in God, saying, how could God do such a thing? Why did He do such a thing if He is God? Where is the justice? Why do difficult circumstances befall good people? They say similar things about Allah's Awliyaa, the true guide. They say, how could Rasulullah do this? Why did Amir al-Mu'mineen do this? There are many such reports in Dawat's history. And just as people accuse the Imams of injustice, they accuse the Da'is. And when they do this, they lose their faith. Because when the man, as I narrated the incident, that he said to Rasulullah, you have acted unjustly. Rasulullah called him a disbeliever, a kafir. Obedience is required even when a person does not understand the reasons for the Imam and Da'i's actions. Just as Allah's obedience is mandatory, Allah's obedience is linked to Rasulullah's obedience and the obedience of the true guide in every age. That is what the Qur'an says. That is what our belief says. Similarly, His justice and wisdom, Allah's justice and wisdom is linked to Rasulullah and the true guide, Imam and Da'i in every age. The true guide's every action and command is just and fair because he receives divine inspiration. Syedna Qazi Nu'man Ridwanullah alayhi explained that if the true guide takes an action that you do not understand, even if it means that you have to bear certain difficulties by his command or action or words, you should hold fast to the belief that even though you have to bear certain difficulties, your sins of past are forgiven through this ordeal that you have to go through. God's wisdom is implemented at the hands of His awliyaa. Just as you should strive to accept God's wisdom to accept Allah's destiny, rida bil qadar, you should also hold the belief that Allah's wisdom and justice is implemented at the hands of His awliyaa. If you do, your faith will remain sound, your sins forgiven, and by remaining steadfast through your trials and tribulations, your station in faith will rise. In this era of concealment, Dawrus Satar, Shaitan is given a respite, is given the chance. This is also part of God's justice. Everything that happens according to the give and take. That is part of God's justice. As the Qur'an Majid says, وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاتٌ. There is life for you in just retribution. Qisas. Oh, intelligent people. Inshallah, I will do this bayan in a future majlis. It would take very long to explain that ayat has deep meaning. Mu'mineen, mu'minat. Allah Ta'ala's awliyaa are the best exemplars for you. So live your life according to their guidance. If you do, all your actions will be based on the foundation of justice. Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullahi alayhi, whose maqam, station is that of nafs lawwama, meaning the self-criticizing soul that the Qur'an Majid swears by. فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِالنَّفْسِ اللَّوَّامَةِ. Maulana Ali says, hold yourself accountable. Al-munsafu min nafsih means do justice to yourself, on yourself first. View your actions through the lens of justice and fairness. If you want to be just and fair, you should look at each matter from both sides. What is the truth? What is the falsehood? Understand this properly. Live your life like this. Remain firm upon the truth. Act justly and fairly. If you do, your soul will continue to rise towards a better state until you reach the company of the Imam, the one who is justice personified. And with him you will rise towards the realm of justice. Justice is light. Opposite of justice is injustice, darkness. As I explained in the 59th Majlis, justice is the truth. Injustice is falsehood. I pray by the hurmat, sanctity of Muhammad, Ali Muhammad and their du'at, may Allah help us to do the right thing in all our actions, all the time. And may He keep your feet firm upon the right path, Sirati Mustaqim. We are the servants of the just Imam by his wasila intercession. May Allah Ta'ala grant us swift aid and clear victory, Nasr Aziz and Fath Mubin. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen, walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على رسوله سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين وسلم تسليما متصلا إلى يوم الدين.
يا صباح الخميس